Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I had my camera off. I was filling up my this huge water bottle. How big this is.
Oh my gosh, that is so big.
To help me drink more water because I don't drink enough water. Look at how big this is.
It's huge.
And I'm supposed to drink a certain amount by a certain time. I just woke up like 25 minutes ago, so by 7 o'clock I was supposed to drink all the way down to here.
Same. I'm like early after a third day. I'm done with waking up at 8:30
I'm exhausted.
and still being at school. But luckily we don't have school on Monday, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm exhausted as well.
I could stay in bed all day.
I am exhausted. I don't know what it is. Yesterday I could not get good rest. I couldn't fall asleep, even though I was exhausted. My body was exhausted, but my brain was not shutting down.
I have issues with the dark. Really bad issues.
Oh no, really?
Yes. Like if um if my cousin or someone tells me about like a creepy story,
Hmm.
it stays in my mind.
Oh,
I keep saying it's not real. So
so maybe you just like really overthink a lot.
mhm.
Okay.
Physically, I think it's not real. Mentally, I think it's real. So I keep having that in my head whenever it's dark. So that's an issue for me.
Mm, yeah, I think it's because you have a big imagination, so your head just thinks about it a lot.
Yeah, I'm made for unicorns, not creepy stories. But I don't know why my cousins like to make me scared.
My grandpa, when I was a little girl, used to do that to me. My grandpa used to love spooky stories.
I I don't know what fun they find in it.
Um,
Really don't. Even though when I was little, I had a really bad dream of a film I watched on the phone. I thought it wasn't going to be scary, but turns out I turned it off
mhm.
and still had a bad dream about it. So I was like 4. So my mom kept like doing this whenever I was like scared. She pretended to grab it from my head, put it in the ground, stomp it with her feet, grab it up again, throw it to China. And I still do that for
Good.
some reason.
Good. If it helps you, then definitely. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it does.
Good morning. So, Michael, this Zoom is not working for you at all. You can't speak or hear, or we can't see you because I know when we were using Teams and stuff. Or oh, you tricked me. I wasn't expecting that. Well, if you can, Michael, please keep your camera on. We'd love to see your face, not your ceiling. And if you're like, Miss G, I just woke up. It's okay. So did we. We were talking. We were all bonding about how we were all very tired still and sleepy. Um, Last night I took a shower really late, and I saw this thing on TikTok where you twist your hair, and you put it in like a braid, and you put it in a braid, and it's supposed to come out really curly. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what my mom does on my hair because she has like curly hair and I only have like one curly hair, one like
My
straight in the middle, and I have to do it all the time.
It took me a long time to do my homework because my computer couldn't process anything.
okay,
Oof.
okay. Next time, if it takes like if your computer's just not cooperating, reach out to me the night before it's due. So if it's due today, right? You could next time if it gets too frustrating, just send me an email or send me a message through chat on Teams, okay? And just tell me what's going on, and maybe you can get a few extra hours or something, okay?
If we finish early, can we do Kahoot?
Maybe we'll have to see. I don't know if we're gonna finish early today. For English, we are gonna be reading a really, really, really long story. Um, in comparison to the ones we have been reading, it's a really good story. I loved it. It's a little bit long, so we'll have to see if we have spare time. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I was so early. I came in early.
I think Ureli's with me first almost every day. I'm pretty sure. Elvie, it's like Ureli and then soon Elvie is in here.
Yeah. For the early birds. What?
Good morning, guys. Okay, we are probably going to get started soon. Today, I know I say it every morning, and then I end up waiting way longer because I get distracted. But today, I am only going to wait for 3 more minutes, and then we're going to begin. And those of us who cannot join us on time, we'll just have to go back and rewatch the video later or something, because it's not fair to you guys. We show up on time. Some of you even show up a couple minutes early to make sure you're here, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I always wake up at 8, at 8 o'clock, and then my mom goes to Dunkin' Donuts and get us donuts, and then I watch TV for a little bit, and then I join in early.
Be
I
good.
just wake up. I get dressed. I have my lazy moments going downstairs. I brush my teeth, wash my face, use the bathroom before class starts, drink a little yogurt, and while I watch YouTube, I wait for someone to enter me into the meeting.
And then after that, when I'm waiting, I just watch a little bit of TikTok because I'm bored.
Me, YouTube. I'm really watching it right now.
Emily wakes up at like 5 in the morning.
Bro,
I
you're
used
not tired?
to, when we were in school
Yes,
still,
I am tired.
when we would still go to school, like when we go in school, I used to sleep in my gym uniform, so I don't have to wake up.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. My throat is very dry. Been sleeping with my air conditioner on all night and freezing cold last night.
I know.
Yeah.
I like cold space, but you get freezing cold in the night.
Yeah, we have 2 air conditioners upstairs, and we have the 2 fans on the whole night. When I wake up, it's summer. So wait, I'll be right back. My mom's calling.
FaceTime video.
Okay, Elvie, I'm just gonna.
Let's go.
Who's asking? Okay.
We play go for again.
Julian, GB, I can hear you. I think you're asking if we can play Kahoot. You're a little bit glitchy. I don't know if he's glitchy for everybody else. Is he glitchy for you guys or just me? He's glitchy for you guys?
No, I see him perfectly fine.
I can see it. But
He's kind of glitchy for me.
yeah, when you were talking, I couldn't understand. So how about one more time? Let's hear your question. Everybody mute. Let's hear what Julian GB has to say. Can we play Kahoot today? Oh, I've already gotten asked this question. It's not even 8:40 in the morning and I got asked that question 2 times. We'll have to see if we have extra time. We have a lot on our plate for English today. We have kind of a big story that we're going to read.
Wait, I thought it was social studies first.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, so we don't play for social studies. Maybe we'll play when we get closer to the test day to help you guys. Maybe. But we'll have to figure out something. I want to figure out a good way for you guys to remember the information. Teresa Flores. I'm trying to think of Teresa Flores. Can you say what your name is? That's your name here, so I think it's the juice road here.
that's India.
That's Indio. Okay. Good to know. Antonio's here. Everybody comes so late to our first class and we miss out on social studies.
Like 3 people come early or on time. But the rest are kind of like late.
Okay.
So do we need our social studies book or anything?
Yes. You can
Evan says it doesn't let him in.
I bet he is trying to join Teams. A lot of people who are saying it's not letting me in are not joining the correct meeting.
Yeah, they should be reading the messages. And yesterday I voted for the thingy.
I voted for Zoom.
In your email, that's sort of where it said. So
Yeah, and then after I put for whatever I voted, it asked for my email. And I put it in.
So here's your email, right? Outlook.
Can I go get a bottle of water real quick?
Here, go ahead. This is what your email looked like. It literally says, please answer survey. Tomorrow for classes, we will use Zoom.
I got it on Outlook, and then I went to the vote browser.
Yeah, so Outlook is your email. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like. And
Yeah, I went to Outlook.
So I literally said what was going on today, and so many people have been asking me like, wait, are we using Zoom today? Yes, we are. We're gonna use Zoom for the rest of the week. So listen to this. Okay. Tomorrow we're using Zoom. The next day we're using Zoom. Friday I will let you know by tomorrow because I have to figure out how I'm gonna test you guys. So,
Okay.
but
I feel like it'll be the same thing.
Not that I don't mind answering your questions really quickly in the morning, but for the rest of the week, we are using Zoom, okay? So I just want to let you know that so you don't have to worry about, are we using Zoom? Are we using Zoom? Yes, we're using Zoom. Same link.
Are we doing the spelling test?
We're doing the spelling test, but that's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
We have a whole bunch of tests this Friday.
It'll be like no problem. I hope.
Okay.
Hope.
Wait, so do we need a social studies book, right? Okay.
So, yes, brace yourselves. We are having homework today. I don't want to hear you guys getting upset already later. There is going to be homework. But I don't know. The homework is not hard. It's not hard if you pay attention in class. How about that? So if you are not paying attention, you're just joining virtually, but you're just sitting here, then yeah, the homework is, you're going to take a lot of work. If you pay attention in class, the homework should be fine. So we went through and we talked about the Hopi tribe, a little bit more about it. We had gotten homework, our letters. I haven't read them yet. I'm going to do that tonight. we read about the Navajo tribe, right?
Yes.
And now we are going to learn about two new tribes. So they are the native of the woodlands. So we're going to talk about what the woodlands are, okay?
Is that the same thing as the first Americans, I think?
Sure. Yes, exactly. So first Americans, Native Americans mean sort of the same thing. So first meaning they were the first people here on American soil. Native meaning that they are native to this country, meaning like this is their country, right?
Okay.
Their nation. So they're native.
Wait, what page is that?
You guys, let me see actually. Good question. Please mute your microphone.
I can't even carry the book right.
Which book is it in? Is it the workshop book?
No,
It's their social studies book.
And the page is something.
Page
Oh, I found it. Page 62.
62.
Found it.
Okay, guys. So, Daniel.
A bunch of pages in my book are ripped.
I'm sorry about that. I don't control their pages, but we if it's really bad, I can talk to the school and see if you have an extra, and maybe get you sent a better one, or you can come pick up. But even when I was a student at St. Cas, their books were never treated nicely. But let's talk about what the Eastern Woodlands are. Okay, what are the woodlands? So there were two major Native American languages that lived here. So these aren't the tribes, but this is the languages that they speak, or that they spoke. So here, some of us might say, our tribe spoke English, and then Ureli's tribe spoke Spanish, right? And those would be, and most people in this area, this is the woodlands. Let's say most of the people spoke those two languages, and maybe a very little bit of them spoke French, let's say. So those are the two dominant languages. It's called Algonquian and Iroquoian. That's how you pronounce it. Those were the two major languages that they spoke. Okay, so they didn't all speak English or the same language. They actually had their own languages. It went all the way from the Atlantic to the Mississippi and to Florida and to Canada. So it was literally this entire area we're talking about. Tribes were living here. Okay, so remember the other day, was it Monday and Tuesday? We learned about tribes in this area and the Spanish where they were here, right? The Hopi and the what was the other one? Let me refresh my memory. The Navajo. They were all like around in this area, in the Arizona, New Mexico sort of area here, and all of this place in the desert. Spanish were here, and now we're learning about all of this, mostly this land, but all of this and where the Native American tribes were like here. And if you notice, pretty Indiana is right a little here, so that's where we are. So in the woodlands, there was a lot of forests. So there were a lot of forests, rivers, and lakes, which meant that it was the perfect place to live off the land, right? Because in the forest, there's a bunch of animals, from squirrel to deer, and believe it, they hunted every single one of those animals, okay? Even the really little ones. They obviously had wood, right? So this helped them build their homes, build whatever it is that they need. They had lots of plants. And if you guys probably know, I don't know if any of you guys or your families are sort of into the way that certain plants can act as natural medicine. That's something that I'm sort of learning. So even just think about like mint leaves, right? If you put mint leaves in a cup of hot water, you have like a minty tea, right? So they used their plants and everything they had access to. They studied it and they used it for medicine, or to eat for food. That was pretty great for those tribes. They had a lot of good soil, obviously, right? In the forest, it rains in this area. There's no like, drought. It's raining, so they have, water access. And they have mud, right? So all they had to do was find good soil where they can plant vegetables, whatever it is that they needed, fruits, right? And then on top of it, in the rivers, there were a lot of fish, shellfish, and sea animals. So for this, I should have put a picture in it because this is actually a cool thing to think about. Get out of here. Okay. So like, let's think about it. Like spears. So they probably made spears and they fished. And if you don't know what a spear is, this is a spear.
They're like those little forks when you kill them. I saw them before.
Yes, exactly. Let's see the man-made ones. See, boom, here he goes. So what they do is they would get a piece of wood and they would use rock and they would sharpen it. So they'd have the stick in their hand and they'd have a rock in their hand and they would rub it against. If you rub it against for a long, long time, you get something like this, something sharp. Not only is this a war weapon, but as you can see here, you can, like this man right here in this picture, is you go in the water and you try to catch fish like that. They didn't have fishing poles, okay? This is how they caught their fish.
Wow.
Really crazy to think about. This is what a lot of them might have looked like. They put a bunch of sticks together and tied them with whatever twigs they could, and that might have been a weapon or a way to get multiple fish. I just wanted to show that because that's pretty crazy to think of fishing like that. I love fishing. It's very relaxing. But I couldn't imagine having to fish like that. I like a fishing pole. So we're going to talk about two sides of the woodlands. So here we have two more tribes sort of representing the north and the south. So as we know, the north, right? Kind of colder.
She can't see your screen.
Is you really the only one who can't see my screen?
No, I said Emily.
Oh. Emily, if you want, maybe leave and come back. I think everybody else can.
I can see it now.
Okay. So she can see it. Julian can hear. Okay, we're good. Oops. Spoiler. All right. So we've got the north and the south. So like we said, north usually typically pretty cold. Think about us, right? People say we live in northwest Indiana, right? It gets cold here. Super, super, super cold here. Just our state, right? We experience winter. Meanwhile, places like California, their version of winter. My best friend is from California. We met in college. She's from San Diego. And her version of winter, and they buy winter coats for this, guys, is when it gets like about 60 degrees. Now, if you guys don't know, think about it. So think about maybe early October when it's like a little chilly and we wear like kind of thick coats, but not too thick. With the leaves are falling. Yeah, imagine that being our winter every year. That being that it gets every year. And to them, they think that's freezing cold. To them, they genuinely get the same sort of winter. You know how we get our really thick coats for the snow? They wear those in 60-degree weather because to them, that's absolutely freezing.
Yeah, because in everyday life there is like 90 degrees.
Thank you, Michael. That is a really good. I'm so glad you said that. So they're adapted, right? They're used to having 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. So the second they feel 60 degrees, they're like, oh my gosh, what's happening, right? It's freezing to them. Because imagine if every day you're hot, 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 and you become used to it, right? You're used to feeling hot. Your body becomes used to it. And then all of a sudden it just gets really cold. It'd be like, what the heck, right?
Imagine them coming here.
Right.
That would be a oof.
I'm used to the cold.
Yeah, we're used to the cold.
I like the cold.
I hate the cold.
Honestly, I'm always cold. I don't know why.
Okay, guys, let's stay on subject.
You sound like my mom. She's always cold, and then suddenly she's hot.
Ureli, ask your question, please. Go ahead, Ureli.
In Georgia, when I went on vacation, usually there it's around 90 degrees too, and it'll only get cold like for a little bit, like.
Yeah, so when it does get cold, they have to adjust. The people there have to adapt to the weather, right?
like I wasn't used to it because it was really, really hot out there.
Yeah, I bet.
Remember that one winter where it was like negative like 20?
Yeah, that was about not last year. I think it was the year before when we had that sort of polar vortex, right? And that's what they were calling it. And it was really cold, and you couldn't leave your house.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember.
that was crazy. So yeah, so exactly. So we have Native Americans here, right? Let's imagine back, like we said, no technology, no nothing. How do they stay warm? They don't have heaters, right? And other than fires, um, fires can only do so much. You can't sit on the fire, you burn. So how is it that they stay warm? So, to start from the bottom, they had to, when they hunted deer, they had to skin the deer, and they had to make clothing out of their skin. And that's what they would wear to keep warm. They might do the same thing with a squirrel. I'm sure you've seen those hats that look like they have tails on
That's
them.
a raccoon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, some people
I
use
think my grandpa has one of those.
yeah, see, so some people use raccoons, some people use squirrels, some people might use possums, whatever they could find in the forest. That's the type of stuff that our Native Americans had to do. And the tribe that we're talking about is the Penobscot tribe, okay? Tribe. So make sure you're taking note of the 4 different tribes that you're learning about. It's going to be important. Hint. And they live in where Maine is at today, the state of Maine. But for them, farming was a little difficult, so they were constantly moving. Because imagine, and this is in the mountains, not of the desert, the way that the Hopi lived and the Navajo. This is the mountains in the really cold areas. Okay, over like let's say, imagine like Colorado, right? It gets really cold there, and in the mountains, there's a lot of snow, so they couldn't really farm. It was too cold to farm. So they were constantly moving around so that they can go and find new food, basically. They couldn't stop and try to plant food. They had to find food, so they were always moving.
They had to find the perfect spot.
Wait, we learned about the Hopi tribe, and I don't know how to say them.
Yeah, Navajo. Now we're learning about the Penobscot, and they were from the north. And so, yeah, they were constantly gathering fruits and nuts and etc. that they could from the forest. So that's why they were constantly moving. And then we have the southern people. So let's talk about the people who lived in the southern woodlands. Okay, so we're still talking about the woodlands, but now we're talking about the southern side. So we've got the Natchez tribe, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, so don't worry about the pronunciation, but more so you can look at the spelling. This was a tribe that lived in the mild climate, meaning that it wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold. It was perfect, okay? And what they were descendants of mound builders. And I was like, that's all that your book says. It doesn't even tell you what a mound is. So I took the liberty of Googling it because I also didn't know. And this is a mound. This is what a mound is. It's like an underground sort of cave. If you ever see those like really big hills that look like almost like houses, most of them are, okay? Inside, there's probably a huge space, but maybe like our city doesn't use it anymore because Native Americans don't live here. But they built these. They built these themselves. And what they would do is they would live inside, or they would host their ceremonies on top. They would do something. It's almost like they built their own stage out of the land. They carved it into the land, which is really interesting. And I can't imagine how much time it took. So they kept cool when it was hot by wearing light clothes that they made from plant fibers. So they would use plants to make their clothes for the summer, their summer clothes, which is really crazy to think about.
I wonder how they take off all the blood off of the deers and stuff like that.
Sure. So if any of you guys are familiar with hunting, I don't hunt. I've never been hunting, but the older I get, the more people you meet, the more stories you hear. So I've just now recently started to hear a lot more stories about hunting from people I work with at my other job. And the lady and her son go hunting often. And she said that you have to get like a rope or something strong. And what you do is you hang the animal from their feet. So they're hanging upside down and the blood just sort of drips, right? It's like natural. So imagine if you're hanging upside down, you can feel the blood rushing to your head, right?
Yeah, that does make
Something
sense.
like that.
But it's still fun.
it's gross to think about if you get squeamish. I'm squeamish. Anything talking about blood freaks me out. Looking.
Honestly, it feels very weird when you go upside down
Yeah, exactly.
for a
Right.
long
But
time.
it's fun. It's fun.
But it still feels weird.
Miss Gomez.
Fun but
So
weird.
does the word blood scare you too?
It doesn't make me feel very comfortable.
Me neither.
That's okay. You can still talk about it. I'm not gonna you guys. It's not your fault that I'm a weirdo and I can't.
Blood doesn't scare me
I'm taking the notes.
unless I see
Good,
blood.
good, Yureli, good.
Blood
Let's
freaks
keep
me
moving
out.
on the subject, guys, because we only have 6 minutes. So what they did was they wore light clothes, right, in the summertime to keep cool, and they made them plants, which I would love to see how that works. And then in the southeast, most of them had permanent living situations. So remember, the people from the north, the Penobscot tribe, they were constantly moving. They couldn't really settle down because they kept having to go and look for food because it was hard. Meanwhile, here they had the perfect weather to sort of farm, so they didn't have to move, and they mostly stood where they were, kind of like the Hopi tribe and the Navajo eventually after they decided to settle down. But most of them, their living situations were permanent, and they built wigwams. Can somebody tell me what a wigwam is? I love that word. I thought it was so funny. It's in your vocab book. That's why I wanted you guys to.
Wait, what'd you say again? Sorry.
Wigwam. It's right here on the screen. That's why I wanted you to have your
I
text.
know it.
Go ahead, Arrington.
Wigwams were homes with bed scaffolding on vines that were covered with cattle mats or elm bark. Many people fished and traveled there and coins made of birch bark.
Good job, Arrington. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Wigwams were made of birch bark. No, the canoes were made of birch bark. Sorry, but the wigwams were made of sort of twigs and what was it? Cattle. I don't know what the word they use, but it's cattle skin, and cattle is cow, or it could be even sheep or goat. Much like they did deer skin for their clothing, they also would skin the cows and they would skin all of the other animals that they had access to, and they would use this to build their wigwam. And these were their version of homes. So remember, the Hopi had the pueblos, right? The apartment style homes that they made sort of out of clay. The Navajo made theirs out of twigs, sort of like sticks and mud, and that was their home. Now we learned that the Penobscot never really had a home. They were always traveling. And now we are learning that the Natchez tribe, they had wigwams for homes. And that was just basically animal skin and what was it? Like, it wasn't, it was like sticks, I guess, wood. So we,
I have some cow in my fridge.
okay. And then they made their canoes from birch bark. And remember, I said when they had a lot of them had access, the people in the woodlands had access to rivers, a lot of fish, and they had those spears. But they would make their canoes so they can go out and they can spear from their canoes. And this is what birch bark is. This is what a birch tree is. I'm sure you guys have seen these before. I've seen birch trees before. They're almost everywhere. They're very common. They're much more common than you think. Sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm making sure that. Oh my gosh.
I've never seen those.
Maybe pay attention, like when you're driving. They're actually much more common than you think.
Yeah, I think that they're usually used like that because they cut down trees and they get skinnier.
Yeah.
One time when we were driving, but this was a long time ago, we almost crashed into a deer, so we tried to not crash into it and stop.
Mm-hmm.
But this was I think that was when I was like 6.
Gomez, I only got how many tribes are there?
There are 4 tribes that we learned about today.
I only got
Learned about in total.
I got the Hopi tribe, I can't pronounce both of the two that we just did.
Penobscot and Natchez.
Yeah, that one.
And then we spent a whole day on, who did we spend a whole day on? The big strong ones. Remember, the Navajo.
Oh, the Navajo.
The Hopi, the Navajo, and today we learned just a little bit about the Penobscot and the Natchez, but we have learned about 4 different tribes, okay? So for homework, this is exactly what is uploaded to Teams, okay? I want you all, the way you did your hero art, you're gonna draw this out. So today, homework is not gonna be turned in, if you do not, and you learned your lesson from turning in the hero art, if you do not know how to upload a picture, then what you'll do is you'll type this all out. So you'll start out, why won't it let me escape? This is extremely frustrating. I'm gonna stop sharing really quick. Chrome is just not my friend. So what you'll do is, okay, now let me screen share with you. Guys, if you can stop in the chat, Anani, I think it's you. Please don't chat unless it has to do with school. Because it makes me feel like you guys are not paying attention to a single word I'm saying, and you're just chatting. And it hurts my feelings. It's kind of rude. And you guys are not that class. My 5B, you guys are seriously my angels. I get sad when I have to leave you guys. Seriously, I enjoy your class, even when we're all kind of tired, maybe we're not participating that much, it's fine. But you guys are such a respectful group of kids.
Yeah, I like being with you too. It's fun.
That's great.
Honestly, I'm always tired. I don't know why.
That's okay. If you're tired, I get that. I just don't want you guys to be in the chat when we're talking. I know it's hard, and sometimes the stuff we're learning about isn't very fun always. But it is important that we respect each other, okay? So here we go. So this is what I'm going to upload to Teams, right? But if you cannot, I would prefer if you guys made the graphic organizer, so you do it like this. So you put the name of the tribe that you learned, the 4 tribes, right? It's not going to be tribe 2, tribe 1, tribe 3. You're going to put the name. But if you cannot upload a picture, you do not know how to upload a picture, and you learned that through hero art, what you'll do is you'll put Native Americans, you'll put the title. So none of you guys have to change this. This is what you're going to put. Native American tribes and their ways of living. Now, this is for those of you who cannot, okay? If you cannot draw the graphic organizer yourself, you don't know how to upload a picture, hold on, I'll take questions after. Then you'll do tribe 1, which was, I'll just give you the answer to the first one, right? It is Hopi tribe. So tribe number 1. You're going to tell me about their ways of living. You're going to tell me about their homes. Homes were pueblos, right? They used adobe. They had kachina for religion, ceremony. Oh, I messed that up. Okay, you're gonna tell me all of the things about this tribe that I'm asking you. They were farmers for fun. They made pottery, or glass bowls, whatever you want to put. And then you can say they also made jewelry. And then some other few things. You guys all have access to this information in your textbook. So we talked about it in class together, and I did my slideshow. But if you have to open your textbook because you forget, that's okay. Everything I put in the slideshow, I pulled from the textbook. I did not pull in any other information. And this is what it's going to look like. And here it has what they ate, their homes, what they did for fun, their environment, the area that they lived in, what was it like, and how did they live, just little things. And I want you to go through and tell me what you know about each tribe. In the instructions, it says, they're not all the same, or sometimes they are. If you have the same answer for 2 tribes because both of them were farmers, that's okay. You put that, this tribe was farmers, this tribe was farmers, that's okay. And also, not all of them have a religion, for example. So I know I say, tell me about religion, but not all of them mention religion, and that's okay, all right? But this is homework, okay? And this is due tomorrow. Guys, this is going to be worth double of what your homework is usually worth. So your homework is usually worth 5 points. This is going to be worth 10. So if you do not do this assignment or you don't do it correctly, you're going to lose out on a lot of points, okay? So make sure that you're doing it. And if you still don't get it, please, please ask a question. Do not be shy. So Yoreli and Gabe, go ahead and ask your questions.
Can we do the way how you did it? Like you gave us the answer, the first answer to the tribe.
What do you mean?
Like just write and place a piece of a white piece of paper on the computer.
Yeah, the way you normally upload assignments. Yeah, you can do that if you don't know how to. If you remember when we did the hero art and I told you guys take a picture and put it up there. So I know that most of you were able to do that. So if you can do that, I prefer you to draw it, because even if you guys don't think so, it helps. Drawing stuff out like that helps our brain to understand things more. Okay, even if we don't feel like it, even if we feel like it's extra work, there's some sort of psychology behind it. Psychology meaning some sort of study of the brain, that certain when you do stuff like that, certain parts of your brain like light up. It's like light bulb in certain parts. Even if you don't think about it, it helps you to understand the information and remember it better for tests. So that's why I want us to do the graphic organizer, okay? It's better for our brains to do something like this rather than just typing it out. You know, we type out a lot of stuff. I think this is a good activity, a good change, right? A good time for you guys to write it out and draw it out. Yoreli, go ahead.
So you know how you said we can add pictures and stuff to the thing?
To what thing?
Hold on. Like I don't get when you said like.
Oh, when you take a picture. So what I mean by this is what you guys are gonna do for homework. This is what I want from you, okay? I'm just gonna do it for you really quickly.
Because I know you can add pictures. You know how you said like when we did our My Hero art thingy.
Yeah, no, I want you guys to, I don't want you to add pictures. I want you to take a picture of what you're doing and upload it. Remember when you guys did your hero art assignment and you had to draw your hero and then you had to take a picture of it and put it up there and that's what you turned in?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I want you guys to make the graphic organizer. You see it here? And I want you to put, okay, Hopi. So there's Hopi tribe. And then in the square underneath, I want you to tell me about them. They lived in pueblos. They were farmers. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then here, you're going to put Navajo tribe, right? They were hunter-gatherers. They were the tough guys. They were invading. They had a lot of problems, right? They were only friends with the Hopi.
Yeah, it's because I thought that we had to add pictures in the little boxes.
Yeah, no. We don't have to add pictures. What I mean is I want you to, when you finish writing it out, I want you to take a picture of it and put it up there so I can see your graphic organizer, okay? And I said for those students who I know during our hero art, they don't know how to upload pictures, right? They just couldn't do it. There were only a few of you guys. If you could try again, that'd be great. But if you can't, I'd rather you just do the assignment. So if you can't do it like this, if you can't draw it out and then take a picture when you're done, then you can do it like this. And you can just tell me each tribe, their names, and there should only be 4. Okay? Is this making sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's not, go ahead and you can tell me. I don't mind. Even if you feel like you're asking the same question twice, go ahead and ask it because I want to make sure everybody knows how to do it. Because like I said, this one's worth 10 points. This is a lot of points. And I want.
Okay, so we draw it on a piece of paper, right?
So
And then
you're going to copy my exact drawing. This one right here. Let me. With all my circles here. This is what you copy. And this is the first box, that the first circle is going to be the same thing. You're going to write the exact same thing. So I did the first one for you.
Okay.
Fill in all of these now. Okay?
You
guys getting it? And
yeah, now.
Yeah.
And then after when we draw circles and stuff, we do the paper, then we upload the picture for the assignment.
Yes, so if you're going to do it like this, if you're going to draw it out, you guys do not have to do this. This is not, you don't have to type it out too. You do not have, all you have to do is take a picture and upload it. This option is for our students who don't know how to upload pictures. They can't draw it out and upload pictures. You can still draw it out for yourself if it's easy, if you want to. But if you, for turning in wise, you're gonna have to turn in something, right? So you can just type it out if it's easier. Daniela, I know you had a question, and I think Arrington, but I'm not quite sure.
So for the first tribe, do we have to write it out even though you already did it?
Yes, I still want you to do it. I wasn't planning on doing all of that, but yeah, still do it because I think there was a few things that I might have left out. I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sound good? Thank you.
Gomez.
Yes, I know. If you're telling me about the time, I know, Julian. What is it? It's the time? Julian, you are like my alarm clock. You're always reminding me of the time. I'm gonna call you alarm clock. Let's change your Zoom name. Can we change your Zoom name to alarm clock? Hey, put your camera on. I was just joking. I get it. Yeah, it's 9:10. Arrington, go ahead. What's your question?
What page are all the tribes on?
They stretch. So we've already covered a couple chapters, right? Or 2 lessons. This was our second lesson. So
Actually, Julian did actually change his name.
I know, I saw, right? He's funny. So Arrington, it starts on page 56 of your textbook, okay? And it goes all the way until 63. So it's not that many pages. That's only 7 pages, okay? So don't go past page 63. We haven't learned about the
Wait, where does it end? I mean, like, where does it start?
56. On page 64, it's going to start with the Haudenosaunee. That's a new tribe. We have not learned about that tribe, okay? We're going to learn about that one tomorrow. So do not include that in one of your 4 because we have not learned about it. The 4 that we've learned about start on page 56 and they go until page 60.
Wait, what tribe are we not supposed to talk about?
The one we haven't learned about. It's on page 64. Do not go in your book past page 63, okay? Only up to 64. Start 56 to 63. Do not go past that. We haven't learned about that tribe.
So don't do 64. Okay.
Do not go on page 64. Only up till 63. There were 4 names of tribes. And remember, don't get confused. Let me just remind you guys that these are not tribes. Algonquian and Iroquoian. I'm telling you now, okay? Because I feel like you guys are going to get confused. This is the languages that they spoke, but not the tribe, okay? We didn't learn about this tribe. We learned about this tribe today. I'm basically giving you the answers. So if you want to write this down, I think it would be a good idea. We learned about this tribe today. And we learned about this tribe today. Okay? And then yesterday and...
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, as soon as I said, guys, I'm giving you the answers, you were like, where's your screen? We learned about this tribe. And we learned about this tribe today. So there's 2 answers already for the top of your graphic organizer. So that is what these names, so Penobscot, you would put here, and Natchez, you would put here, right? And then there's 2 other tribes we've already learned about. Our peaceful ones, you know, our sort of hippies, our land lovers. And then we had the really tough guys who kept invading. Those were 2 different other tribes. So our break would be over now. Yeah, RIP our break. Just kidding. Come back 9:20. But
Can I stay here?
Thank you.
listen, guys. You better be here at 9:20. I'm starting English at 9:20. We have so much to do for English, okay?
Turn.
And no more no distractions during English. Even if I say something silly, that doesn't mean that it opens opportunity for us to start talking and telling our personal stories. I know we want to talk. It would be fun if we could. We're on a really tight schedule, okay? I want to make sure.
Okay, I might hide. So.
When are you gonna send like the tribe assignment?
I'm gonna upload it now during our break.
Okay.
Okay.
Potato. Wait, so you can like leave the meeting?
No. Don't leave the meeting. Who asked that?
Me.
Juliet.
I was about to leave.
No. It's the same thing every day. Remember, we mute our mic, shut off our video, take a little stretch break, and then we come back to our seats. I think my alarm clock is, I think you need new batteries. You need new batteries. Go ahead and take a break. Stretch a little bit, okay?
And back. Since you allow us to like eat eat something during class, I'm just gonna eat my breakfast.
Okay, I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'll be fast. I was muted. I said that has to be a world record. I was so fast. Even I washed my hands. That took the longest part. If you guys are near your computer, please get out your ELA book for today. Today it's the other book. It has the squirrel. I think it's the bigger book. It has the squirrel on it. So make sure you have that in front of you for class.
Wait, big
Big book.
What's the question? We're all good? Okay.
No, it's because I thought that we had to use the tiny book today again.
I'm just enjoying my time to eat my breakfast.
It's not. I passed 9 a.m. and I'm not even close to my. So it tells me which time to have my water drink. So I was supposed to have all this much by 7 in the morning. This is 9 a.m. I'm not even close. I gotta start chugging.
Chug, chug, chug.
So I was brainstorming ideas for a fun Friday, and I'm only saying this out loud so you guys can remind me, because I know that as soon as I tell you, you'll probably be excited and it'll be something you might want to do. So I'm telling you to remind me because I will genuinely forget. I suffer from terrible, this is just a heads up. I suffer from like ADHD, very severe. So I get really distracted in my own head. I always have these great ideas and then I forget about them because my brain I have a lot of stuff going on in my head. I get really excited. So I'm telling you guys this to remind me, okay, to be my helpers, because I don't feel like putting sticky notes everywhere in my room. For yeah, everybody's is different. Some people are really mild. Some people are completely different in general. For me, it's like your very stereotypical sort of diagnosis. I get just really distracted sometimes. But yeah, it's totally normal. It's very common. It's very common. But anyway, for Fun Fridays, I lived with I'm sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was thinking of, I have a friend who does magic, and I was thinking for Fun Fridays, we can do something cool where he can sort of do some magic tricks via Zoom on our Fun Fridays. I don't know if you guys would be interested in something like that, but his tricks are really insane. They're pretty cool. So that would be fun. So just remind me if that's something you guys are interested in. I was trying to think of ideas we can do for Fun Fridays when we're reviewing. Maybe it's like every right answer you guys get when we're reviewing. He could do a really cool trick. I was also thinking of something silly. Maybe like for every time, I'll give you guys like a practice test that we'll do out loud together. And every answer that you get right, I have to do a silly dance, whether it's like a TikTok dance or a Fortnite dance. And then every answer that you get wrong, if I call on your name, you have to do a silly dance or something like that. Maybe that would be something fun that we can do together. Don't get embarrassed. It's us together. And if I have to dance in front of you, I promise, I bet nobody's worse than me. And on top of it, we won't, that part I can stop recording if you don't want me to record you guys dancing or something. But I'm thinking that'd be, hey, keep it appropriate in the chat. We all know that WAP is not allowed in class. I don't want to hear it. But something like that would be a good idea for Fun Friday. So jot those down in your memory before I forget. Vega, go ahead.
I found this page in my book.
And
it has a name. It says Xavier, yeah.
Okay, well, it's probably just an old leftover book. I mean paper. Don't worry about it. Maybe read it in your free time if you want to see what his work was like. But
Okay.
probably just his old work that he forgot in there. I'm sure it's not important, but I can ask. But okay, so let's chime it down in the chat. If you're not comfortable with the ideas for Fun Friday, that's fine. We can just keep it to a simple pajama day, whatever. I'll think about it. But the magic is always fun. It's always cool. And I'm sure he would absolutely love to do it.
I want to do the dances.
We can maybe do both.
Yay!
It can make. Oh gosh, Michael. I don't know any TikTok dances, so I'd have to research them. But it's not so much that they're. I think that they're fun. I think it would just be funny to watch. Try to do them because they're really hard. Really hard.
They're not too hard once you like try them on camera.
I've seen a few of you guys do them in your meantime. Like I think I've seen Arrington and Urelli. I've definitely seen Arrington. Not like really fully doing the dances, but I've seen you doing whatever it is that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I know that they're TikTok dances, but
Me too.
okay, so no more chat, please. Ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I'm thirsty.
I'm the one who said we have so much to do, and here I am, like I said, easily distracted. So let's do this. Screen share. What is going on? Everybody pay attention to your screen. Everybody have your book out. It's the big book this time, the one that has the squirrel on the cover. You are going to need your book. Oh, Daniel, I know that do you have that book?
You mean me?
Yes, Daniel, my Daniel P, sorry.
Daniel Pearson?
Yes, Daniel P.
I have a sticky note in my book.
Yay, okay. Daniel P.
Wait, what
Everybody
does the book look?
Everybody else can mute. Oh,
I have writing in my book.
oh no. Babe, this is what the book looks like. It's the bigger one. It has the squirrel with the sort of reindeer on it. Okay, great. So everybody has a book. So let's get go, except for Ivania. Ivania, I will be reading the story out loud, okay? But for the homework, I'm gonna figure something out. I took a picture of the story, and I'm gonna put them on Teams, okay? So you can have it and you can read it for homework too, okay? But we're gonna read it together. So if you could just listen, just try your best. I know it's hard, okay? Thank you.
Is it the big book or small book?
Big book.
Yeah, it's big book.
Sorry if I said small earlier, I meant big. But okay, let's all work well together. Let's all, give a muted virtual round of applause for Ivania. She's a trooper. She doesn't have her book, and she's still prepared. So thank you, Ivania, for that. Everybody, let's give a muted round of applause for her. To Ivania. Good job, Ivania. Let's get started. So
Game time.
no, this was yesterday, so this is what we ended on. Everybody mute, please. Mute unless you have a question. All right. So we did all this, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. We did do that. We did that already. We've been there, done that. This is everything we did. We had our lovely Kahoot game yesterday. Not everybody got to finish, and that's okay. I'm sure we'll have a chance to play it again. So here we are, day 3. So, as always, our warm-up. So somebody help me correct this. What is the first correction that needs to be made?
It's a TUFF word. It needs to be tough, but it's misspelled.
I have one.
Great, Daniel. Okay, and then we'll go to Ureli next. Daniel, spell tough out loud for us one more time.
I don't know really how to spell it, but I know how to say it.
Okay, so why don't you try? Let's let Daniel give it his best try. If he doesn't get it right, that's okay too. So Daniel, let's see. Let's hear your best try. I want you to try at least to spell tough. Like I said, if you don't get it right, that's okay. So we know it's not TUFF. So it starts with T. And don't mind if I'm terrible because I'm drawing it. What do you think is the next letter, Daniel?
I think it's gonna be. I don't really know. Yogurt.
Okay. What did you say? I'm sorry. Say you don't really know too much. You don't really know it too much. You're not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really too much.
Okay, Daniel. How about we let Daniel phone a friend? So Daniel, pick somebody with their hand up and ask them to give you a hand.
Okay. Those who raise their hand virtually.
So go ahead and say a name, Daniel. Who do you pick to help you out with this?
I think it's gonna be. Please no TikTok. That's literally someone's name. I choose that person. Was it? I don't know.
Maybe just
What?
try, Daniel, pick somebody hand up either virtually or in the camera. Just somebody we can see.
I think it would be Nija.
Nija. All right, Nija, let's see. Let's spell tough for us, Nija.
Wait, can you say that again?
Tough. Spell tough. Try your best. It's okay if you don't get it right. Go ahead and unmute, Nija. I see you. You're getting nervous. Don't get nervous. Just give it your best shot. Go for it. So we know it's not T-U-F-F. So there you go. So that's
H.
What'd you say?
H.
Okay. So we'll play like Hangman. H goes at the end. What goes in the middle?
Ooh, I know.
O.
Good.
U. G.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Miss Nija, thank you. So remember, guys, a lot of times this UGH makes that uff, right? So we have tough, we have rough. But then the FF can also do it because we have the word stuff, right?
It's raining stuff.
Okay. They both make that UFF and that UGH both make the same sound. Good job, Nija, and good job, Daniel P. So, what is our next error, guys? We still have one more.
It's not supposed to be a question mark where it says there will be a science test today.
What is it supposed to be, Ureli?
Dun,
dun, dun, dun.
I'm thinking.
If I said to you, there will be a science test today. Out loud. What does that sound like? Does it sound like a question? Does it sound like
Exclamation mark?
So it could be exclamation, but not so much. What do you think it is?
Oh, comma.
No. How about we hear from Daniela? Let's see what Daniela has to say. Maybe she'll help you out here, Ureli. Daniela, what is it?
Period.
Period. Good job. Yeah, so it's just a period, right? It's just a simple sentence.
Yes.
There will be a spelling test today.
You also wrote it down because it's like a little circle.
Right, I just did that now. So yeah, that's what it would be, okay? Good job, Ureli. Good job, everybody else. Good warm-up. Really good warm-up. So let me figure out how to stop doing all this goofiness. Okay. So the warm-up is done. Oh. I don't want that. All right. Please, no doodling. I'm gonna say it before it happens. I see there's chats. What's up with the chat? Oh, Violetta said a period. Good. Edgar spelled tough. Good. Guys, I don't want to talk about John Wick. Can't be talking. You have to focus, okay? Please.
I don't know why they're talking about it.
All right. So the warm-up was great. So let's go over some things, okay? So open page 11 in your book. What we're going to do is we're going to predict. We're going to predict together. To predict is just to like assume, right? We're going to make assumptions. So everybody look at their book. Look at page 11, 10, 11. Go ahead and keep switching pages. And I want you guys to just look at the pictures, okay? And I want you to take a guess. I want us to guess together about what we think the story might be about. So if I see you looking into the camera or I see you looking to the side, I know you guys are not looking in your books. So please look in your books. Open your books and check it out. If you have access to your camera, Julian Rodriguez, I don't know where you went. Put your camera back on, very much so, please. I know you have it. Put it on. I think Edgar,
I do have my camera on.
Oh my gosh, there you are, alarm clock. You're right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. My apologies to alarm clock. You got me there. You got me there. You got me. Good job, alarm clock. Sorry. So everybody else has their camera on? Why did I not realize that there's so many of you without cameras?
Probably on mobile. Probably on mobile. That's why they can't use the camera.
Ureli, do you have an assumption? Do you have a guess as to what the story is going to be about? Let's hear it.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I think it's gonna be about them storing food away just in case something happens.
Okay, good. Good. Does anybody else want to make an assumption?
I do.
Go ahead.
So I predict that this is about chickens.
Good. Yeah, we get that from the name, right? The hen.
So I got a question
about
this story. So on page 15, you can see in background there's a chicken wearing clothes and another chicken.
Yeah, good. That's a really, really good observation, right? It's almost like these chickens in the background are human beings. They're almost like that's what they're trying to say. So I'm interested to see what the story is going to have to say about that, if they have anything to say. Gabe, that is probably, so far, the best thing I've heard today. Really good job. I mean, you've all said really great things. Don't discourage you. But Gabe, that was a great observation. That was a really, really great observation. Arrington, was that you? What did you say? Was that Arrington?
No.
Okay. I thought I heard somebody say something. Anybody else? Come on. Somebody else take a risk and assume what they might think the story is going to be about. Anybody?
I think it's going to be about hens.
Hens, okay. Yeah, keep looking through the pictures. What do you think? What about the characters? How many characters do you think there's going to be? Who do you think the main character might be?
I think the main character will probably be the two people that are on the cover.
Yeah, right?
Boy and a mother.
Who do we see a lot throughout the pictures? Which one?
The kid.
The little boy.
The little boy.
Good job, Arrington. Good job, Gabe. And I don't know who
That's named Keijo.
Yeah.
Keijo.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot about the boy, right? I think he's going to be the person that we're going to read about. Kojo. Good job. It's the first name that we see. So how do these pictures resemble real life? Meaning, like, how do you think they look really real? Like, for being paintings? You think that they look like something that can be real in real life? What do you think?
Yes.
Let's hear from Mr. Loot Llama. Mr. Loot Llama. Julie, what do you think? You're awfully quiet today.
I think it's about about this little kid helping some people or something.
Yeah, he could be helping. And I said, what do you think about the pictures? Do you think they look realistic? What do you think about the art that we're looking at?
Not that realistic.
No? But do you think it can be something that you'd see in real life? For being a painting, it looks kind of real. You can almost see these pictures in your head, right? Almost. Yeah. Kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not terrible. They're not like my version of what Harriet Tubman looked like, right? My terrible art hero drawing.
Chickens.
Good job, Julian GB. So yeah, okay. So we're assuming some things about what this story is going to be like. And not that assuming is always great, but when you guys are testing, this is all going back to testing because I genuinely just want you guys to do well, okay? When you guys are testing, looking at the illustrations can help you, okay? It might help your brain to understand some things. It might help you understand the characters, or maybe it'll help you just read better. Maybe it'll help the information come to your brain a little bit easier if you can imagine it happening in your head, right? So when we're reading now, we sort of know what Kojo would look like. So we might be able to play a movie in our head as we're reading along. That might be a good way to help you guys read better, is imagine it like a movie, right? A lot of people like movies, right? It's easier for us to understand movies because we're seeing it. But if you think about it, movies are literally stories. They're just stories for your eyes, okay? Meanwhile, stories are just stories for your brain, and you have to imagine everything. Movies, basically, and that's why they make a lot of books into movies, right? Twilight, those are movies. Harry Potter, those became movies. What else? Game of Thrones, TV show, right? Almost all big popular books become movies. Clifford started off as movies, and now Clifford's a okay. If you guys can unmute, unless you have a question. And then what else? Dr. Seuss, all kinds of stuff. Really great book content ends up becoming films. And they do that because it helps you to understand it a little bit easier. So if that's what you have to do, if you have to look at the pictures to sort of make a movie in your own head as you're reading along, maybe that's a good idea, okay? It might help you.
Miss Gomez,
Yes.
can I go to the restroom real quick?
Who is this? Who's asking?
Elvie.
Elvie, that's fine. Next time, try to go during our break. I understand sometimes you don't have to. You feel like you don't have to. Maybe try next time during break, okay? I recommend it for everybody, not just Elvie. Keep going. So the essential questions. So, let's see. Who do I want to ask? Nija, can you read? All you need to do, it's actually not that hard. Read the essential question to us out loud. It's on your page 10 of your book. It's that green question mark. And it literally says essential question. Read that out loud for us. Make sure you unmute your mic. Just the top part.
Just the top part of it?
Yeah, just the bold, the text that's in black, that black bolded text, the question.
How do we get the things we need?
How do we get the things we need? We talked about that, right? We talked about that on Monday. So not yesterday, but the day before, right? We had a whole discussion on needs. And that's when we got all that vocabulary, right? Saving, some people might save stuff when they need stuff. Or things are scarce, right? They're hard to find. So we need savings, okay? I can feel you guys all getting like antsy, looking away. Come on, let's try to pay attention. Maybe sit up, maybe shake your arms a little bit. I know it can feel boring, but let's try to get this, okay? Because now we're gonna start reading. Yeah, so basically that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read this story and we're gonna figure out the answer to this question, okay? We're gonna talk about how different people in different circumstances meet their needs. So, what I recommend, because it's gonna be a really big part of homework and a huge part of the grade, okay? Because this homework is also like social studies. It's going to be worth a lot more than usual. What I would suggest is you guys take out a piece of paper and a pencil like I ask you and already have in front of you every class, and I want you to take notes. I want you to make a note of the most important parts. Remember, so we practiced that with our story the other day with the fresh idea. We had about 7 really big things that happened throughout the story, and we made a note of it, right? So I want you guys to just maybe try to do your best to do the same. Make a note of the big parts of this story because it's a little bit long. So, for example, if it says, he woke up and he was super tired, that probably wouldn't be a big part. But if it say, after he woke up, he realized his chickens were gone, and then the whole story is about him finding his chickens, then him losing his chickens, him waking up and his chickens being gone, that would be a big part of the story, right? Because then the rest of the story is sort of dependent on the fact that he lost his chickens. And there wouldn't be a story without him losing them, right? So that would be a big part. That would be a main event. That's not what the story is about, but that was just an example, right? So that's what I want you to record. I don't want you to sort of take a note on the little things like, oh, his hair was black. No, that's not really that important. But, you know, a big thing like him going on a big adventure, maybe that's a big main event that you would want to write down, okay? And note taking, I just wanted to highlight that because it's important, guys, not even just for ELA, but for our social studies class. Because look, our assignment that we have today, perhaps if you had taken notes, and I know I talk fast, so maybe you wouldn't be able to get all of it in, but just some, it helps you guys. It helps you on your homework. It helps you study for tests, okay? When you're hearing the information and on top of it, you're writing it down, it's a little bit easier to remember, okay? It's very helpful. So that's important to note take. So that's what I suggest for this story. Get out a piece of paper and a pencil and get ready because it'll help you for your homework assignment tonight, okay? You don't have to turn the notes in, but you will have to turn in something else, and it's almost the same as what your notes are going to ask. So ask for notes. Don't write about down anything that's going to make your hand hurt even more than it might already. Probably doesn't hurt because you guys are on your computer. But yes, only on the important things. So let's get started, okay? Ooh, spoiler. So we're going to read the story. So everybody have your book open in front of you, okay? Have a notebook, piece of paper, and a pencil to take notes on the important events. I'm only repeating that one more time because I see LV just rejoined us. And let's get started, okay? So our story, much like our fresh idea story, the genre is a realistic fiction. Julian Rodriguez, Alarm Clock. Can you remind us what is a realistic fiction? What did we say about realistic fictions? What does that mean? Do we remember? Remember we talked a lot about genres, right?
It means like it could have happened in real life.
Good, perfect, thank you. Exactly. So it's not based on a true story, right? This isn't like a biography that we're reading, but it could possibly happen. A lot of the stuff that we're reading about is very realistic. It could have happened and we might not know about it, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. A lot of the stuff that we're reading about, it's almost like real life. It's really easy to imagine this in your head. And I want to give a quick background that the story that we're reading from, it's going to the events take place in Ghana, okay? That's a place in South Africa. And so in this area, a lot of people face sort of economic challenges, money challenges, right? The farmers don't have a lot of access to fertilizers to help them with their soil, right, to grow. They don't have a lot of irrigation systems. Remember, we said irrigation systems mean like water flowing and flowing to all the correct places, the tunnels to help the water flow. And they don't have a lot of good seeds to help with their crops. So during the time when it's drought, right, when there's not a lot of crops growing, the food is scarce, okay? It's really hard to find. Food is hard to find because they just don't have the land for this and they don't have the technology. So they're sort of doing their best. So that's important to take into consideration when we're reading, okay? Because we're going to be reading about a certain experience of a person in that area, okay? So take a look at your book, have your notes on the side. If you have to stop, you know, and when I'm reading, if you have to stop reading along with me and take a note, go ahead and do so, okay? So let's get started. It's on page 11. Kojo tugs the knot tight and hoists a bundle of firewood onto his head. Since his father died, he had to quit school and help his mother collect wood to sell at the market. It is the last load of the day, and he is tired and hungry. So we learned something important about our character Kojo that might be worth taking a note of, right? Something.
Wait, can we pause?
That is what I'm doing right now.
Go ahead. Okay. I'm gonna have to get started. I know that even if not that it's encouraged, but if you have a pencil, right? If you want, maybe make a little pencil mark. Don't tell them I told you. But make a little pencil mark in your book if it's easier, so you don't have to literally copy it down, right? Or even write down the page number in your notes, whatever you have to do. But make sure you go back and erase, okay? If that's easier than having to write, because I can't keep pausing. Okay. So maybe something like that would be easy. Okay. So Kojo and his mother live in a mud-walled house with an open fire for cooking. Beside it is a garden where they grow their own food. They never have much money or much. As Kojo nears the home, he can smell his mother's foo-foo cooking. Their main meal from cassava and yams. So this is a cultural thing. This might be, we don't know what fufu is, but we can take a guess based on the context clues that it's a sort of way of cooking, and it's a dish, okay? And they make it out of cassava and yams. He smells it, and he begins to walk a lot faster. Kojo and his mother live in a village in the Ashanti region of Ghana. None of the 20 families in the village have very much money, but they do have a good idea. Each family promises to save just a little bit of money so that one family can borrow all of the savings to buy something important. The Achempog family is first to borrow the money. They use it to buy 2 cartloads of fruit, which they sell for a profit, right? So that means they make more money back at the market. When they pay back the loan, the money borrowed, the Duodu family borrows the money to buy a second-hand sewing machine. They plan to turn the cloth they weave into shirts and dresses to sell, and to probably also make a profit. One day, it is Kojo's mother's turn. She uses the loan to buy a cart so she can carry more firewood to the market. She also hopes to rent the cart to the people who need to transport. So when I'm reading a story and I get to the part that I might not understand, we can go back and reread. So do you think that I missed an important point on the first time that I read?
When you first started the second page?
Mm-hmm. Is there something so far that you guys don't understand? Like, especially about this money situation. Do you guys understand what's happening?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of. So let's say we all lived in a tribe, okay? And every time we made money, just a little bit, we all put savings aside. And every time we took a break, we took a turn and we gave that savings to somebody. So the first person, we all had a little savings. We said, okay, Daniela, we're going to give it to Daniela. We're going to invest in Daniela. We're going to give her our savings, and she's going to go ahead and buy something, or maybe she's going to make something with that money, and she's going to sell it to other villages, let's say we're in a tribe, other tribes, right? And then the money she makes back, then she's going to give that to Ureli. And Ureli's going to do the same, sell it to a different village, something new, sell it to a different village, okay? So that's basically what they're doing. They're helping each other out. The different families are giving each other their profits and their savings, and so that their whole village can work together to all make money together, to sort of eat and afford things together as a whole, okay? So I just want to make sure everybody understood that, because it is a little bit difficult to understand what's going on with this money. But that's sort of what they're doing. There are a few coins left over. Kojo asks if he can have them to buy something for himself. He has a good idea. Kojo's idea is to buy a hen. He and his mother will eat some of the eggs that it lays and sell the rest at the market. Ding, ding, ding. This sounds important, right? There is a farmer in a neighboring village with many hens, and Kojo will ask to buy one. I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee.
I thought you were drinking water.
Both. Well, maybe you guys are making note of the important things, right? So that sounded pretty important. It takes Kojo 2 hours to walk to the chicken farm. By the time he arrives, he is hot and dusty. He wonders how he will know which hen to choose. There are so many. Kojo tries to look over all the chickens. A white one pecks the ground near his foot. Should he choose this one? All at once, Kojo spies a plump meaning really thick, kind of fat-looking one, brown hen with a bright red comb sitting in her nest and puffing out her feathers. She looks as if she would enjoy laying eggs. Now, he doesn't have to think. He knows this is the one when he sees her. Kojo pays for the brown hen and puts her in a wicker basket. So that's just like a woven basket, right? He gently covers the hen with a cloth and lifts the basket onto his head. So that's what our picture is here. He's got that hen on his head in the basket. As he walks home, he dreams about the future and he sees a lot of eggs in it. Eggs to eat, and if he's lucky, eggs that he can sell to buy even more hens. That night, he puts the basket with the hen beside his bed mat to keep it safe. So far, who are the main characters?
Kojo and the hen.
So we wouldn't probably consider the hen a character. The hen is an important part of the story, yes. But who's another character? What about another person? Who's another one we probably think we'll probably hear from again? Go ahead,
His
Julie.
mom.
Yes, Elvie, good job. Yeah, so his mom. So those are so far the two important characters that we want to make sure we remember, okay? Those are our two main characters as of right now. And where is the story taking place? One more time. Let me ask Julian. Let's hear from Julian this time. Julian, where's the story taking place? What would be the setting, maybe? Somebody else feel confident? I know,
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's multiple Julians. Arrington. Let's hear from Arrington. Sorry, Julian. Whoever Julian I was referring to. Let's hear from Arrington.
Well, the setting in the story is they live in a village in Ashanti.
Good. Very good. Good, Arrington. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. It's a village, right? And it's in Ashanti. So, like we said, this area doesn't necessarily have apartment buildings and houses the way we do. It's a village, okay? And that's why maybe when he walked so long, he felt dusty, right? It's almost like a desert type of thing, you know? It's hot there in Africa. So that's what he's experiencing, right? So that was a good clue to let us know what the area is like around him. And it's a lot of dirt, right? When you're walking for a long time, the dirt's blowing in your face, you feel dusty, right? You feel dirty, maybe. And it's hot. So good job, Arrington. That's exactly what our setting is, okay? So let's keep going with the story. So he has the hen. He's investing in this, right? He's hoping that this hen will give him more eggs, and then the eggs will turn into more hens when he sells the eggs at the market, and he's hoping he can buy more hens. So he puts it in the basket on his head, takes it home, and he puts it right next to his bed when he goes to sleep. So Kojo makes a nest for his hen from an old washed powder. Ooh, let me reread that. Kojo makes a nest for his hen from an old wash powder box, and checks it for eggs every day. A wash powder box meaning like, you know how some of us, when we were washing our clothes, you have detergent and it's liquid, but some of us have, the powder.
Yeah.
That's what it is. One of those boxes. So they wash their clothes, but they use it with powder and sort of whatever water they have. So that's what he did. He made a nest for his hen using that old box from his, let's say, laundry soap, his laundry box. And he checks it every day. He's checking this hen for eggs. And on the first day, nothing. So he's discouraged, right? He's like, great, there's nothing. On the second, still no. Okay, what the heck? But what is this? He sees something else. In the corner, under some straw, a small, smooth, brown egg. He's lucky, indeed. His hen does seem to enjoy laying eggs. She lays 5 eggs in the first week. That's a lot of eggs, okay? Kojo and his mother eat 1 egg apiece, and he saves the other 3 for the market on Sunday. Or Saturday, sorry. On the market day, he walks among the stalls of fruit and vegetables and meat and kente cloths. Cloths. Kente meaning it's cultural, right? It's probably a certain type of cloth that has to do with the African culture, which is probably really cool. And calabash bowls. He finds a good place to set down his small basket and call out for customers. Kojo sells 2 eggs to Ma Anchempong and 1 to Ma Duodu. So these are just other characters that he's selling eggs to. He clutches his egg money tightly so he doesn't lose it. He is about to pack up his basket and go home when he finds another treasure. Loose grains and bits of fruit fallen onto the ground that can feed his hen. Loose grains almost meaning like seeds, kind of like what I'm eating here, though you can't really see it that well. But I'm eating like granola almost, right? To me, this is yummy. And to his hen, he found little grains, something like this, something like granola. And he was like, oh, perfect, free food for my hen. So my hen is eating because you got to feed your animals, right? It's almost like having a dog. You got to feed your pet. Otherwise, your pet would die. So he's like, great, I don't have to worry about feeding my hen because I just found free food for my hen. So let's talk about it. Let's review really quickly, just so I'm making sure we understand. So how long does it take for him to see results? How many days does it take for him to realize that his hen is actually working? Go ahead, Elby.
2 days.
2 days, right? So
Yeah.
the first day he's super discouraged. He's like, great, this is a waste of money. My mom's gonna kill me. She's gonna be so mad at me because I wasted a couple of her coins on his hen. He don't want to lay an egg. And then boom, next day, he feels better because he finds an egg. And then that week there's 5 more in the whole week. That's a lot of eggs. Good. Perfect. Let's keep going. Are we ready? It's a long story, so I want to keep taking breaks.
Can I turn the page? Can I turn the page? Yeah.
You can try.
Here's something strange on page 15. There's 2 chickens on the page.
Good, yeah.
2 huge chickens, human size.
So I'm thinking that that's supposed to represent something. I think the author sort of did that on purpose to sort of represent, right, how successful Kojo might be because nobody else had eggs, right? He's talking about the market and he says fruit, there's vegetables, there's meats, there's cloths, and there's calabash bowls, which is probably, once again, a sort of cultural thing that we don't know what they necessarily are, and that's okay. We can imagine, let's say maybe they're like the bowls that we talked about, the pottery bowls, right, that the Hopi tribe made. But he doesn't hear anything about eggs. He's the only one who's selling eggs, and that might be a really big hit, okay? And maybe that's what they're representing. These chickens at the market, everybody's turning around, everybody's looking at them. Look at all those, right? I think he might have a hit. And that's sort of what that picture is showing. That's showing them at the market, okay? And showing just how much that lady wants an egg. She's bending out. She's like, give me an egg. I want it now, okay? All right, let's keep going.
But then why explains on page 15 there's 2 chickens?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think they're just sort of supposed to, they're not really there. They're supposed to just believe.
But they have human eyes.
Okay. Aaron, do you have a question? I know you're unmuted. Do you have a question?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay, let's keep going. Keep that stretching, Julie, GB, and Gabe. Get those stretches in and let's go. Ready? You're both stretched at the same time. So 1 year later, Kojo has built up his flock to 25 hens. Okay, let's just sit here and think. He had 1. And 1 hen laid 5 eggs in only a week, right? This guy has 20, how many does he have? 25 hens. That's a lot of eggs, I'm sure, that he's getting, right? And in only a year, he built that. So it turns out that that picture was showing that it was really successful, right? We can only
Miss Gomez,
yes.
if you look on the top right, you see someone hiding a chicken or a hen.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point out.
And I see a chicken flying
That's
up a
his
book.
mom. That's Kojo's mom.
Okay, so let's read and let's figure it out. What are these drawings trying to show us? Why are they so strange, okay?
Probably trying to show us that it is hard for them to take care of probably.
Okay, well let's read, okay? Let's not run out too much time. That's a good guess. So 1 year later, he built his flock up to 25 hens. He thinks the sound of chickens clucking and skittering, so cluck, 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 and skit, 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 you know, whatever sound that the chickens make. Sorry, I was doing my best there. About their enclosure, meaning their sort of situation, the fact that they are not out free, right? So he thinks that the sound of them getting frustrated that they only have this little area of land is so much better than the beating drums or than the beating of festival drums. Ooh, so there's a hint, right? There's some sort of festival going on. There's some sort of celebration or ceremony. But collecting eggs from so many hens is hard work. His speckled hen tries to hide her eggs every time. Today, he finds one under a cassava plant. So the hens are hiding their eggs from him. And his white hen pecks at him when he checks their nests. And then there's his brown hen with the bright red comb, right? That's our first hen that he first got. His first and still his favorite. She always seems to have a couple smooth brown eggs for him. I'm thinking, oh, it's a smooth brown egg. One smooth brown egg. So she always has that one special egg just for him. Selling eggs at the market has given Kojo some savings. Ooh, he's made some money, guys. Maybe he will use his egg money to build a fine wooden chicken coop. Maybe he will buy some things that his mother needs, such as a new water bucket and a good knife. Or maybe he can pay for something he's been dreaming of. Fees and a uniform so he can go back to school. So this is a huge little thing that they put in there casually, right? So what do we learn about Kojo?
That
I'll probably just say it so that we don't run out of too much time, but he's a kid, right? He's a little kid and he's not even in school. Imagine if you guys, if your parents were like, hey, you can't go to school. I need you to work full time. I need you to work and you have to make money. And you have
I'm used to it. I do with my
Miss
grandma.
Gomez,
Yes.
in the beginning, it says that since his father died, he had to quit school.
Right, exactly. So they're bringing this back, right? But what are we learning about him? Not only did he have to quit school, but what is it? He doesn't want to quit school, right? That's it. His dream is to go back. His dream is to go back, guys. Okay, let's keep the chat to a minimum, unless it's stuff to do with class. But yeah, right? He wants to go back. He had to quit school because his dad died, right? But we learned that it's actually not something that he wants. He actually enjoys school, and he wants to go back. So that's important. So let's keep reading, okay? Jeez Louise. This book is huge. We have a lot more to read.
Why don't we finish it tomorrow?
But we have homework. So your eggs, so he wants his dream, okay? Fees and a uniform so he can go back to school. Your eggs have made us stronger, Kojo, says his mother. Now go to school and learn for the both of us. Kojo's uniform feels stiff and new as he walks to school. With each step, his lips move silently, reciting the ABCs and the numbers he learned before his father died. In school, Kojo works hard to catch up with the other students on reading and spelling and arithmetic. Arithmetic is kind of like math. Here's another new one, right? Kojo goes back to school. His dream comes true. Later, he learns to write on essays and solve math and science problems. And he learns about his country's history and its resources and about other countries in Africa and around the world. There are practical lessons for country life too. How to filter drinking water with a cloth. So somebody asked this, right? Can't we filter water? He learns how to filter drinking water with a cloth to remove parasites, meaning all the icky stuff you shouldn't be drinking. How to use chicken manure, so chicken poop. Okay, that's just a fancy word for chicken poop. And compost made from garbage to fertilize the soil and grow vegetables. So you can use chicken poop, put it in the dirt, mix a little water in there, and it might help the soil become more fruitful. It's almost like giving the soil nutrients. So it's almost like your animal, right? Your animal gets nutrients from the food they eat. Then they poop out a little bit of nutrients, okay? That poop, if you put it in the dirt, it's giving the dirt nutrients, okay? And then the dirt sort of forms and it can help build crops. I know it's gross, maybe, but that's sort of what he's talking about. The lessons Kojo learns help him to take better care of his chickens, okay? So he's learning a lot of stuff in school. Not only is it stuff like, you know, we learn like math and science and reading or whatever. He's also learning practical stuff. How to survive, right? How to filter water, how to take care of his chickens better, okay? So school is doing a lot for Kojo. His dreams are growing bigger and bigger, but now he sees that he will need more education to make them come true. Kojo studies even harder, and he eventually wins a scholarship to an agricultural college to learn more about farming. Agricultural meaning sort of like studying the land, okay? And that's what he's doing. He got a scholarship to go to a college to help him study the land better. And it's going to help him learn how to farm better. His mother will take care of his chickens while he's away at school. At college, dreams start to take shape, the shape of a farm of his own. Okay, so now this whole little section was a big section. So the first big thing I would say is Kojo goes to school and he learns a lot, right? Basic schoolwork. But then school inspires him to learn more and learn more about farming. And then he goes to college, and college inspires him to want his own farm. So now Kojo is dreaming big, okay? School has inspired him to dream big. After Kojo finishes college, actually, you know what? Why don't we end there? There's no way we're reading all of this.
Is the chicken that started all of this supposed to be old now? Because it doesn't look like it's old.
Just read it for like homework.
So how about I still give you guys your homework so you can, if you want to start it today, because this is what it was going to be. I was going to have it due Friday anyway. You were going to have 2 days to do this assignment because it's a big assignment, but it might be a good idea for you to start it now, okay? That way, it'll be better. So what you're going to do for me is you're going to summarize the story, okay? And to summarize, it means you're going to tell me the important events. So in a couple paragraphs. So for today, I would summarize today's social studies lesson by saying, today we learned about 2 more tribes in the eastern woodlands. We learned about Native Americans and the way that they lived, the way that they got food and their weather conditions, right? It's sort of like you're just telling some of the most important things, okay? We're not really telling all the little details, but you are saying this is the stuff we talked about, right? That's sort of what you're going to do. You're going to summarize this story. You're going to tell me who the characters are, where they are from, where they're living. So Arrington said the village, right? That is the setting. So you would say, the story starts with Kojo and his mother, and we learn that they live in a village. In this village, you know, we learn about about Kojo, and he is, in his village, they help each other. They lend each other money, to make more money at the market. Kojo decides when it's his turn to have some money, he gets some spare money from his mom and blah, blah, blah. You're sort of summarizing it. You're making it sound simple. You're not putting all the details. But you are going to retell me the story. So when I read this, I'm going to read what you guys write. And by the time I'm finished reading what you have, I should be able to know what happens in the story, okay? The important things. So that's why I wanted you guys to start note-taking the important events, because your assignment is going to be summarizing the story. And this is a big assignment, guys. This one is almost going to be graded like an essay. So it's going to be worth 20 points. That's 4 times your normal homework, okay? This is a big, big, big assignment, and that's why I wanted to give you 2 days to work on it. You have tonight to work on it, to start it, and it's perfect. If anything, you guys, I'm kind of glad that you only read half the story. That way you can start the first half tonight, and then tomorrow you can do the second half. I don't suggest you guys waiting until tomorrow to do the entire thing all at once. It's going to be too much work, 1. And 2, you still have your spelling test Friday. So make sure you give yourself enough time to study for spelling. If you do all of this tomorrow and have to study for spelling, it might be too much. And then whatever you have from Miss C's class, that's a lot of work, okay?
Miss Gomez, what I forgot how to get the spelling words.
So the spelling words, and yes, make sure you guys look at them today, write them down if you have to, because spelling words are going to be removed. I'm taking them off of Teams tomorrow. Probably Friday morning, because I do not want you guys to have access to the words during the test. Not that I don't trust you, but it is important.
Are we gonna do Kaihu?
We are not. Class is over at 10:15.
Gomez?
We have time left over tomorrow. We can do Kahoot. Yes, who is that?
I've never seen spelling words.
Okay, so they've been uploaded.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, guys, so remember I told you since last week that they were uploaded. I had to re-upload them. They're still up there, but I'm just letting you know now that I'm taking them down Friday morning. So if you have to write them down after class, whatever it is, there's only 10. So you're going to go to our team. You have to click ELA. You have to click ELA. If you don't click it, it's not going to show up in general files. So you're going to go to the English channel. You're going to go to files. And here are the spelling words, and it's labeled spelling words, and I have it listed here. And there's only 10. Remember, I've had it up here since last week. It says the date, so our spelling test is this Friday, okay?
So how are you gonna test it?
Okay, this is easy.
I'm gonna tell you guys how we're gonna take the test tomorrow. I'm gonna sort of talk to Missy and ask her sort of what we're gonna do. So can everybody, actually, this is a good question. Can everybody hear me? Everybody here can hear me, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I leave?
You can hear me, and both of you with a gray screen. So Daniel P, Stefania, Raphael, too lazy to think of a name, Edgar Bot, Indio, Anani, and iPad. If you guys can hear me, please just put yes in the chat. Actually, I want all of you, even with the camera, those of you with the camera and a mic, if you can hear me, put yes in the chat. All of you. I want a response from every single one of you that can hear me right now. Once you say yes, you're free to go. I will still upload this homework assignment, but remember, it's not until Friday.
We're gonna go.
We go.
Yeah, class is over at 10:15.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Oh, one more thing.
See you tomorrow.
So today my brother's gonna go to school to get his supplies because he's starting pre-K. So I have to go over to a friend's house, but it's at 1. So I might have to start maybe like in the night to do my homework.
Okay, this is Gracia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Gracia, that's fine. It's like I said, it's You have your social studies. That's due tomorrow, okay? But our English is due on Friday. So if you can do your best to do the social studies tonight, that's fine. But try to start your English because it's a big assignment, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.